Okay. Kavita ji and friends who are attending this Zoom meeting, welcome to all of you. Now, when I speak, I draw my experience from the peace talks that were held in Andhra Pradesh about 2 decades back, when Sir Shankaran, one of the legendary IAS officer, has taken the initiative, and a number of individuals who have had their own reputation in their own spheres, like Pottur Venkateswara, a leading journalist, Kannabiran, who was the president of PUCL, Tarakam was a Dalit leader. Then, several people, some of us joined this group and worked for a decade to bring the Maoists to the discussion table. Now, this experiment, whatever was done in Telangana or in the then combined state of Andhra Pradesh, has several lessons to draw. I mean, because we had already had one experience. Now, basically, the discussion at that point of time, when we discussed both with the Maoists and the government of Andhra Pradesh, we had to deal with both of them. We had to discuss with both of them, and we had to persuade both of them to come for discussion table. But now, after 20 years, the situation changed, and for different reasons, again, there was an initiative in Telangana, and Maoist party responded, and they said that they are ready for peace talks. And as Bela mentioned, now 2, 3 times they have announced that they are ready for peace talks. So the present group, which is working for the peace talks, has an advantage that one group has already agreed to come for peace talks. Now we are requesting or we are appealing to the central government, because now central government is deeply involved. Respond respond to the peace talks offer. And after all, any day peace is much higher value than this type of confrontation, because peace provides space, peace provides an opportunity for us to go into the deeper problems as to what is affecting, what is inflicting the tribal people. Mr. Ravi Kumar, narrated certain instances on what is the state of tribals, I mean, whatever areas he could visit. Now the tribals, are in unrest, and we have to discuss what are the root cause. Planning Commission appointed a subcommittee some time back, and Planning Commission went into the causes and submitted a report. That report is available with the Government of India. Now you can look into that report, what were the suggestions given by this particular subcommittee which was appointed by the Planning Commission. Now the tribal struggle today, that for last 50 years Maoists have been there, and they have been struggling, and this struggle is going on. But the struggle did not start with the Maoists, nor is it going to end with the Maoists. The struggle is basically rooted in the deeper problems of the tribal areas and tribal regions of this country. The tribal struggles have been going on for last almost 200 years. Birsa Munda, whom today we glorify, or we, almost look at him with a reverential attitude, and the government of India celebrated his birthday, was the one who was also fighting for the tribals. Now, there have been continuous struggles as the freedom movement was going on. On parallel lines, there were tribal struggles, any number of Pituris, any number of rebellions of tribals. Now, where have we gone wrong? I think is one question historically we have to ask. Now, in a response to the tribal struggle during the freedom struggle, Constant Assembly has taken note of all the struggles that tribals carried for the freedom of this country. And and when it came up, and Jaipal Singh raised this whole question in the Constant Assembly, representing the Bastar, and the Schedule 5 was introduced in the Constitution of India. What does Schedule 5 say? Schedule 5 promises the tribals of this country that their state, if it wants to enter, although eminent domain they retain, but the state will enter the tribal areas after taking the consent of the tribals. During the last 75 years, the struggles have been going on, and the government of India has been responding law after act after act, And with the result, today, almost during the last 75 years, not only we have Schedule 5, we have SC/ST Atrocities Act, we have PISA, we have 1 of 70, we have Forest Rights Act. What are these promises? What have been doing? We have been continuously promising the tribals that your rights will be protected. Now, therefore, the struggle is not, this struggle. That's why they have been in struggle mode for such a long time is for the government of India to inquire into. They have certain, reports which they can go in. And since now the Maoists offered for the peace talks, now government of India should come forward, not just because the Maoists now, agreed for peace talks, but lots of innocent lives. Bela Bhatia has been narrating that children, who are going to school are coming with bullet injuries. The children can't go and play out. A lactating child was killed. Now the lots of women and men have been killed in the process of confrontation. Now innocent tribals are losing their life. And I think we, as a concerned citizens, are concerned with the life of the people. Now, our appeal to those who are attending this particular Zoom meeting, please reflect one thing, that why tribals have been struggling, and the people of Bastar who are living continuously under fear, under insecurity for a long time. Now imagine the conditions of people living under continuous, insecurity. See, our concern, government of India, when we are talking of peace talks, when we are talking that please talk to the Maoist party, what we are saying is please talk on behalf of the tribals, on as to what is, problem of the tribals. And Ravi Kumar was suggesting talk to tribal leaders. Do that also. But now there is a historic opportunity where a struggling group has given its opinion and said that we'll talk to you, and we will, you please come for talks. Talks is a historic opportunity. Once it was done, now the BJP government has another opportunity, because now when you say Sabka Vikas and all that, after all, that includes the tribals of this country, most marginalized, and the tribals who suffered enormously. Now, therefore, the government of India should sit and have peace talks, raise the questions relating to the tribals, why they have been struggling this long, and how to bring back peace in Chhattisgarh. Peace talks, is not a graveyard peace. Peace is a lively process. Peace is a lively experiment. Peace is an opportunity to go into the causes, to reflect, to sit and to formulate policies. Now you can't adopt only approach of repression and use, force. State force has to be used, very scarcely. That's what Constitution says. The state is constrained by the law, by the Constitution, by number of decisions of the Supreme Court. So therefore, if we are to uphold the Constitution of India, the sanctity of the Constitution of India, and several acts that have been passed from time to time, it is the obligation of the state to respect and to bring about peace. It is the responsibility of the state. In fact, historically, state has been created, at least in liberal theory, we teach that state has been created to give security to the human being. State has been created to create the welfare. And I would like to recall that Dr. Ambedkar, when he was asked to define democracy, he said democracy is a form of government which is to bring about revolutionary transformation in the social and economic life of the people without bloodshed. That's very important, without bloodshed. Now, therefore, peace talks is avoiding the bloodshed. And peace talks is trying to solve the problem within the framework of the Constitution, or within the framework of legal framework, within the, the ambit of the larger, development framework. So therefore, if it requires to redefine development, we have to redefine development. If the tribals say that this is how the policies have to be made, we have to listen to them. What type of policies we have to formulate? We can't silence the voice of the tribal, because they have been voicing for a very long time. Now, therefore, Bharatiya Janata Party, God, and the Home Minister and Prime Minister Now, here is an opportunity, and we as the concerned citizens say that we value peace, we keep working for peace, and we also, facilitate or whatever role you want the civil society to play, civil society will play. But at the same time, I am also appealing to the people sitting in this Zoom meeting that please understand that unless civil society plays a very creative role, it would not be possible to bring two parties to a peace talks. In Andhra, it was the civil society, a huge public opinion, and an electoral outcome that led to the peace talks. So each one sitting here who attaches value to human life and attaches, the value to the rights of the tribal, the marginalized section of this country, who have been struggling for, certain dignities, certain securities, certain, form of life. They have their own culture. So therefore, I think this is the time that government of India sends a signal to the rest of the country that here is a government which responds, which listens, and this we will consider would help enormously for bringing peace in this country, for a movement which has been going not only last 50 years, but for last 200 years. I stop here, and we, as the members of the civil society, have a responsibility, have a burden on us to carry on this very creative role that is expected of a civil society. Otherwise, democracy will not survive, constitution will not survive. If you want to protect constitution, if you want to protect human rights, if you want to protect your peace, I think civil society has to open up and talk. And this is the message that this Zoom meeting is intended for. Thank you, Kavita.
Thanks a lot, प्रोफेसर हरगोपाल. साथियों, प्रोफेसर हरगोपाल बहुत लंबे समय से जुड़े हुए हैं इस पूरे कदम में, शांति वार्ताओं में. प्रोफेसर हरगोपाल पहले सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी हैदराबाद में ही पढ़ाते थे, लेकिन अभी वो नेशनल लॉ स्कूल बैंगलोर में विजिटिंग फेलो हैं. प्रोफेसर हरगोपाल ने 2-3 बहुत ज़रूरी बातें बोली हैं जो मैं आपको अनुवाद करके बताना चाहती हूँ. आपका ये कहना है कि आखिर ये हम सारे लोग क्यों आए हैं, क्योंकि सिविल सोसाइटी या आम जन ने हमेशा बहुत जरूरी भूमिका निभाई है. अगर हम 2 दशक पहले देखें तो सन 2000 से ही पीस टॉक्स का एक पूरा सिलसिला हैदराबाद में एक माहौल बना, जो जाके 2003-4 में पीस टॉक्स हुई. एक इलेक्शन एजेंडा भी था उस वक्त, और आप उसके साथ जुड़े थे. और आपका ये कहना है कि इस बार भी हमें उस तरह की भूमिका निभानी होगी. सरकार को भी समझना चाहिए कि बात करना आदिवासियों के साथ एक ऐतिहासिक दर्ज होगा, एक बहुत जरूरी काम दर्ज होएगा, एक ऐतिहासिक बात होगी, क्योंकि जो आदिवासी लोग हैं उनका संघर्ष बहुत बहुत लंबा रहा है. केवल एक दशक का ही नहीं है, अनेकों दशक पुराना है, 200-300 साल पुराना है. और इन पूरे संघर्ष दर्ज हुए थे कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली में, जब आदिवासी नेता जयपाल सिंह ने ये सारी बातें रखी थी, और इसीलिए शेड्यूल 5 बना था. आपका ये भी कहना है कि अभी केवल शेड्यूल 5 की बात नहीं है, जो कि एक जिसके तहत सरकार को वेलफेयर तो करना ही है, लेकिन इसके अलावा SC/ST एक्ट पैसा है. तो आपका ये कहना है कि सरकार को इस वक्त तो बात करनी चाहिए, लेकिन ये भी समझना चाहिए आखिर 50 साल से माओवादी लोग क्यों हैं, आखिर आदिवासी लोग इतना लंबा संघर्ष क्यों कर रहे हैं. इन बातों पे भी देर सवेर तो आपको आना ही होगा. ये नहीं हो सकता कि आप केवल गोलियों से इस वक्त बात करें जिस तरह आप कर रहे हैं. और आपका ये भी कहना है कि क्या अंबेडकर ने कहा था लोकतंत्र को लेकर, आपका ये कहना था कि लोकतंत्र उस प्रकार का शासन व्यवस्था है जो कि एक क्रांतिकारी बदलाव लाएगा. ब्लडशेड थोड़ी ना, इसके बारे में ये कोई बदलाव की बात कर रहे हैं वर्तमान सरकार, बिल्कुल नहीं. जब सरकार सबका विकास सबका साथ की बात करती है तो आप एक पीस फ्रेमवर्क बनाइए जहां आदिवासी भी जुड़े, और आप शुरू तो करिए इस वक्त बात करने से. और आपका ये अंतिम बात ये थी कि सारे लोग पीस को वैल्यू करते हैं, जो संघर्ष में भी है वो भी शांति की बात करते हैं। और मसानिया की शांति नहीं, शमशान की शांति नहीं, न्यायपूर्ण शांति, जहां न्याय हो। तो साथियों, ये न्यायपूर्ण शांति की बात कर रहे हैं हम, ये नहीं कह रहे हैं कि आप बस आके अपनी ही बात रखे। अब सुनिए आदिवासियों को, और ये जमघट जो आज 100 लोगों का लग रहा है हमें, लेकिन ये बहुत पावरफुल जमघट है, हम बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं। थैंक यू सो मच प्रोफेसर हरगोपाल।